The year is 2376. Humanity has pushed beyond its home system, carving a path through the unknown. Out here, at the edge of explored space, the rules are different. Out here, survival belongs to those who adapt the fastest. A distress signal flickers to life in the Vorlax sector, a system officially labeled as uninhabitable. The USS Valkyrie, a human expeditionary ship, picks it up. Standard protocol says to ignore rogue signals in dead zones. But humans aren't known for following protocol. Captain Elias Rourke gives the order. They descend onto a planet covered in thick, blood-red fog, where sensors struggle, and visibility is cut to almost nothing. The terrain is scarred with deep trenches, stretching for miles like battle scars on an ancient warrior. Something happened here. Something's still happening. The first sign of trouble comes when the scouting drones fail to return. The second, when a low-frequency hum vibrates through the ground, felt more than heard. The team spreads out, weapons ready. Lieutenant Sienna Graves scans the mist with thermal imaging. Nothing. But instincts scream louder than any sensor. Then the ground erupts. A monstrous form bursts from below 8 feet of armored exoskeleton, deep obsidian plating glistening in the low light. A nightmare blend of lobster and mantis, but this thing isn't mindless. Its movements are calculated, strategic. Twin-clawed appendages snap open, each humming with charged plasma blades. The first soldier doesn't even have time to scream. One claw pierces straight through his chest plate, lifting him like a rag doll before tossing him aside. Chaos erupts. Gunfire tears through the fog, but the creature is fast, moving between trenches like a shadow. Another burst from below, then another. 2, 4, 6. More. The team is being hunted. Graves rolls clear as one lunges, its claws slicing through the ground where she stood a second ago. Adaptive tactics, these things learn mid-battle. She sees it in the way they adjust, predicting human movements. AI-driven defenses fail instantly, their automated turrets hesitate, unable to lock on fast enough. But humans don't hesitate. Rourke pivots, switching to incendiary rounds. The creature hisses in pain, recoiling as blue fire licks at its shell. Weakness detected. Graves grabs a seismic charge, normally used for mining, and hurls it into a trench. A heartbeat later, boom. The shockwave ripples through the tunnels, sending several creatures tumbling out, momentarily stunned. The team doesn't waste time. They fall back to the dropship, leaving behind a field of burning corpses and twitching limbs. First contact wasn't peaceful. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was a hunting ground, and tonight, humanity had interrupted the wrong hunt. As the engines roar to life and the ship ascends, Rourke watches the trenches below. The creatures don't chase them. They don't need to. The message is clear. They'll be waiting. Back aboard the USS Valkyrie, the crew dissects every second of the encounter. The creatures, Vorskari, as they're now designated, aren't just dangerous. They're strategic, coordinated, and worst of all, intelligent. Other species would have panicked, retreated, or tried brute force. Humans analyze, adapt, and come back stronger. The body they recovered lies under bright surgical lights, its chitinous exoskeleton still radiating residual heat. The lab team runs tests. Regenerative plating, capable of self-repair after minor damage. Plasma-based weaponry attached to organic bioconduits, likely powered by internal chemical reactions. But even the strongest shell has a weak spot. They find it buried in the thermal scans. While its armor can regenerate, it can't handle intense, sustained heat. More importantly, its underground echolocation system relies on low-frequency vibrations, meaning seismic disruptions could disorient them. Blind them, even. The AI recommends high-yield explosives. Standard response: hit them harder, burn them faster. But humans don't just hit harder, they hit smarter. Captain Rourke tosses the report aside. That's how other species think. That's why other species lose. Instead, they study the terrain. Vorskari burrow, hunting from below. But they still need to surface for a clean kill. That means they rely on their prey's movements. What happens when the prey stops playing by the rules? The strategy forms. Instead of reacting, they'll control the battlefield. Seismic charges, but not as weapons. Placed in a grid formation, they'll create disruptive pulses, throwing off the Vorskari's ability to detect movement. The team will use decoy drones, programmed to mimic human biosignatures, drawing the Vorskari into a kill zone. The real strike team? Waiting with high-energy flamers and concussive grenades. A direct assault would be suicide. But this isn't a battle, it's a hunt. And this time, humans are the predators. The plan is risky. Unproven. AI models give it a 23% survival rate. Rourke doesn't hesitate. Run the numbers again, he says, loading his rifle. Because I plan on winning. The charges are set. The drones drift into position, their artificial heartbeats mimicking human vitals. The Vorskari hunting hum begins a low, bone-deep vibration that signals the approach of an apex predator. But this time, the hunters are walking into a trap. The ground trembles. Then, eruption. The first Vorskari breaches, its mandibles snapping as it lunges for a drone only for the seismic charges to detonate in sequence. The shockwave ripples through the tunnels, scrambling their sensory network. More creatures surface, disoriented, their usual precision replaced with hesitation. They don't understand what's happening. That's when the Real strike begins. Graves leads the first assault, incendiary rounds cutting through the fog. Fire licks up armored limbs, forcing the creatures back. The once invulnerable shells crack and blacken under sustained heat. Concussive grenades explode in the trenches, sending some crashing back into their burrows. The ambush is working. Then, the Vorskari adapt. One leaps from the side, tackling a soldier mid-air, claws closing with a sickening crunch. Another swings a plasma blade, catching Rourke's arm, flesh sizzles, bone sears, but he doesn't go down. He pivots, slamming his knife into the soft joint of its thorax, driving it deep until the beast collapses. The battlefield shifts. No more confusion. No more hesitation. The Vorskari learned. Their formation tightens, forcing the humans back-to-back, claws clashing against reinforced armor. Numbers are thinning on both sides. Graves goes down, pinned beneath a massive claw. A mandible lunges for the kill, but she jams a plasma grenade between its plates, twisting the detonator just as it snaps shut. The explosion tears it apart from the inside. More are coming. Too many. The charges are spent, the firepower dwindling. This was never supposed to be a war of attrition. Then the sky splits open. Orbital reinforcements arrive. Heavy bombardment rains down, turning the battlefield into fire and ruin. The Vorskari shriek in defiance, some retreating to the depths, others fighting until the last ember consumes them. By the time the dust settles, the trench is a graveyard. The Vorskari are gone, defeated, but not destroyed. Rourke grips his mangled, bleeding arm, staring at the burning wasteland. This wasn't just survival. This was a message. The battlefield is silent. Smoke drifts through the trenches, the last embers of a fight that should have been impossible to win. The Vorskari are gone, but their absence is not surrender. It's something else. Recognition. Across the galaxy, warlords and diplomats alike receive the same report: humanity stood against the Vorskari and lived. No species had ever driven them back. No fleet had ever forced them to retreat. The galactic community doesn't know what to make of it. Some are in awe. Others are afraid. A message arrives not from a politician, not from a bureaucrat, but from the Vorskari themselves. A lone survivor, captured during the battle, delivers it without emotion, without hesitation. We do not seek war. But if war comes again, we will not underestimate you. The words are not a threat, but a promise. The Vorskari respect only strength, and humanity has proven itself worthy of being recognized not as prey, but as an equal. Rourke, his arm now replaced with cybernetics, listens to the message in silence. The galaxy is watching. Every species waiting to see how humanity will respond. He leans forward, his voice calm, measured, unshaken. Next time, bring your best. And just like that, everything changes.